During this G7, we had many conversations about Ukraine, about how we need to continue to hold Russia to account for its illegal invasion, to make sure that Russia actually pays for the damage that it has done to Ukraine, the murder of so many civilians. We're going to continue to make sure Ukraine is held to account. Russia is held to account for what it's doing in Ukraine.
Захищати Україну означає об'єднати усі зусилля міжнародної спільноти для захисту України. Якщо Росія не погодиться з цим, ми заставимо її здатися. І нам потрібно встановити мінімальні умови для цієї дискусії.
This is my video update on this Thursday, midday, June the 16th. Let's talk about some news. And we are going to start things off with the Swiss Peace Summit. The Swiss Peace Summit. What a debacle. What a debacle, the Swiss Peace Summit. Trudeau at the G7 in Italy. We are going to hold Ukraine accountable. No, Trudeau, we're going to hold Russia accountable. Russia, what kind of drama teacher were you, Trudeau? What kind of thespian was Trudeau? I thought you were serious about acting, Trudeau. You can't even remember a simple line. We are going to hold Russia accountable. Russia. Poor Trudeau. I was practicing all day, Olaf. All day I was practicing my lines. I messed up. Trudeau, you idiot. What kind of a drama teacher were you, Trudeau? Oh, boy. Anyway, let's get back to the Swiss Peace Summit. What a freaking debacle. You know what the summit was? The Swiss Peace Summit. There's a bird like right up there. I think a magpie. I've learned the magpie. I think a magpie is right. It was right up here. Anyway. Flew away. It flew away. You know what the Swiss Peace Summit was? I'll tell you what it was. It was a therapy session. It was a therapy session. That's what it was. It was all of the collective West presidents and prime ministers gathered in Switzerland to complain about Russia. That's what it was. That's what it was. One therapy session. The Swiss Peace Summit. Where to begin? Where to begin? A lot of projection, but therapy. Therapy. A lot of the collective West leaders that were there, because those were the only world leaders that showed up. Other countries that showed up to the summit, they that were represented at this summit, they just sent, some sent foreign ministers, others sent various other officials, like New Zealand sent their corrections minister or something like that. Anyway, yeah, all the presidents and prime ministers from the collective West that did show up, basically, they complained about Russia and mostly about how Russia won World War II. That was their big complaint. Their big complaint was that Russia won World War II. Russia defeated the mustache man. That's pretty much what many of the collective West leaders were complaining about. Very weird. Very weird stuff. Oh, boy. We defeated the mustache man, and Europe will never forgive us. Right? They never have. They never have forgiven you, Russia. Anyway, let's begin. Let's begin with, this is going to be a fun video. How about we start with Kamala Harris? who you know didn't want to be there. Kamala did not want to be there. She's like, oh boy, you're sending me to Switzerland to attend this summit. She's like, I don't want to be here. But she showed up. She gave a speech. She made sure to call Zelensky President Zelensky. She made sure to call him President Zelensky. You know why? Because they're trying to make Zelensky feel good. Don't worry, Zelensky. You're president. You're president. You're not illegitimate. You're president for now. For now. You know. Don't calm down. Calm down, Volodymyr. We'll call you president. Don't worry. I've got the script right here. I got the speech right here. We'll make sure we call you president, so everyone back in Kiev that wants to coup you, everyone that wants to coup you and get rid of you, they'll see that that Vice President Kamala Harris is going to call you president. Don't worry. Thank you very much. Very important you call me president. Very, very important. I got big trouble at home. Big trouble at home. This is why I travel everywhere. I can't go back home because everyone says I'm not legit. Too legit to quit. And then you had Jake Sullivan, like sitting right behind Kamala as she was delivering her lines. And I think the video tells you everything you need to know about who the real president of the United States is in terms of foreign policy. It's President Jake Sullivan. I've been saying this for a couple of years. People that have been following my channel, I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, I would say that the real president of the United States when it comes to foreign policy is Jake. And you can tell he's sitting behind Kamala. He's just like, is she reading her script? Is she reading her script, her lines properly? Is she delivering her lines properly? Okay, good, Kamala, good. Now call him president, Kamala. Call him president. Good, good. Now say Russia's bad. Russia is the aggressor. Good, good, good. Very good, Kamala. You could see that he's like just standing right behind Kamala, reciting the lines of Kamala's statement as she reads her statement out. The real president of the United States when it comes to foreign policy. He never smiles, by the way, either, does he? Has anyone ever seen Jake smile? I've never seen him smile. He's always upset. He's always angry and upset. Upset about something. Maybe he's upset about the fact that as the man that's running foreign policy for the United States, he's turned everything into a freaking disaster. Anyway, that was Kamala making sure to call Zelensky President Zelensky. Very important. That's the real purpose of the summit. Is for Zelensky to show everyone back home that he's legitimate. Oh boy, what one big therapy session, I'm telling you. One big therapy session. That's what this Swiss peace event was. Let's move on now to, who should we talk about now? Mark Rutte. Let's move on to Mark Rutte. Oh boy, Mark Rutte. Klaus Schwab's golden boy, Mark Rutte. Klaus Schwab's favorite son. So he gave some comments before the summit got started, before the speeches were given at the summit. He was speaking to reporters, and Mark Rutte, he said that Putin's BS proposal, that's what he said, Putin's BS peace proposal yesterday is a sign that he is panicking, and this is good news. It's a sign that he is panicking, and this is good news. And then he did like a mic drop. Like Rutte did like a mic drop. He spoke to reporters, and he's like, Putin's BS peace proposal is a sign that he's panicking, and this is good news. And then he just like walked off. And then he's like, yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm Mark Rutte, and I'm telling you that Putin is panicking. Mic drop. I'm out of here. Tough guy, Rutte. Tough guy, the next. Not new, not yet. You still have to go up against Klaus Johannes of Romania, but the front runner to replace Stoltenberg at NATO. Tough guy, Mark Rutte. That's what we'll call him from now on. Tough guy. Mic drop. Tough guy, Mark Rutte. That's right. The fact that Putin is giving Ukraine an opportunity to come out of this with a country left, to surrender and save hundreds of thousands of lives, and to end the war and the conflict on realistic terms, that's a sign that Putin is panicking, according to Rutte. Is that really how you read Putin's proposal, Mark Rutte? Really? Is that how you read everything? He was feeling tough, though. Big man on campus. Big man on campus. You know, after he made that statement to reporters and just kind of walked off, that he called Klaus Schwab. You know, he called Klaus Schwab right after. Hey, Klaus, I said BS to reporters. I said Putin's proposal was BS. You proud of me, Klaus? Yes, very proud of you, Mark. Now go eat them bugs. Go eat some bugs. Thanks, Klaus. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling tough. Rutte. So from Rutte, we can move on to, how about Sandu from Moldova? She said, Ukraine is peace. Moldova is peace. And then she said, Slava Zelensky. Slava Ukraine, she said. But I say Slava Zelensky because, from what I understand, Slava Ukraine is not a very nice term to throw out there. It's got some pretty bad historical ties. Anyway, that was Sandu. Ukraine is peace. Moldova is peace. Sandu from Moldova. Kaya Kallas, Annalena Baerbock, Ursula Sandu, Macron, Trudeau, Rutte. It's just all copy-paste, man. It's just all copy-paste. Oh, boy. How about the president of Finland? What's that dude's name? Alexander Stubb? Is that his name? I think that's his name, Stubb. President of Finland. Man, oh man. Did he say some interesting things? He said Ukraine is starting the peace process from a position of strength, much stronger than it was 3 weeks ago. Really? I want what the president of Finland is smoking. I want some of that stuff. Really? President of Finland, Ukraine is in a better position than it was 3 weeks ago. It's in a much stronger position. You know what he's referencing? He's referencing the ridiculous fiction that Russia was unable to capture Kharkiv, the siege of Kharkiv, and Russia failed, like the siege of Kiev and Russia failed. Oh boy. They completely buy into their own dumb propaganda. They completely buy into it. Or they're acting, or they know that it's dumb propaganda and they're just acting. Anyway, that's what the president of Finland said. And then he was whining. He was whining about how Russia won World War II. That's what he was whining about, pretty much. That Finland has been in many conflicts with Russia, and in World War II, Russia won. That was pretty much his complaint. He's upset that Russia won World War II. That was the president of Finland. Who else? We had the French-born and raised president of Georgia. What's her name? Zura Bichvili, is that her name? I think that's her name. And she was complaining. She was complaining about how Russia defeated Georgia in a war that Georgia started against Russia, which even the European Union has put out reports saying that Georgia started the war. And she was complaining about the fact that Russia defeated Georgia. Yeah, that was her complaint in a war that we started. but we're upset that Russia defeated us. Because she was actually, I think she was in the administration of Saakashvili, and we all know that Saakashvili was McCain's guy, like McCain was his mentor, right? And he got the order to provoke Russia, and well, Russia hit back, and that was her complaint. Macron also spoke about how Russia cannot be allowed to win. And no one really cares about Macron anymore. It's obvious. Who cares? I don't think anyone's listening to Macron anymore. No one likes him. No one cares about what he says. He's become a persona non grata. not even his globalist elite buddies like him anymore. Did you guys see the video of Meloni and Macron, and Macron goes to I forgot what he was doing. I don't have the video handy right now, but I think he was going to kiss her hello or kiss her hand or something, and Meloni was just like, you can tell Meloni just despises Macron, absolutely despises Macron. I'll put the video up. I'll find it after I finish recording, and I'll put the video up so you can see Meloni's body language and her reaction. She despises Macron. So yeah, that was Macron. Kaja Kallas, she's upset that Russia won World War II. That was her complaint, that Russia won World War II, and that it's a colonial power. Russia's a colonial power, she said. That's a nice narrative that they're pushing out, this whole colonial power. Very nice projection, textbook projection. We're not the colonial powers in Europe. No, it's Russia. Russia's the colonial power. That's an interesting narrative that they're trying to sell the world. And you know what they want to do? They want to sell this to the global majority. They want the global majority to actually believe that Russia's a colonial power. That's how they think they're going to win over the global majority. Do you think this is going to actually work with the global majority? No, it's not going to work. They know what's up. They know what's up, but that's what Kaja Kallas said. Very upset that Russia won World War II. And then you had, I think, the clown of, well, the second place for clown of the day. No doubt about it, second place, because Trudeau is going to take the top spot, and I'll get to Trudeau very, very soon. But it goes to Duda. It goes to the Polish president, Andrzej Duda. Duda, oh boy, did he say some crazy stuff. Some crazy, crazy stuff. Duda. He said that Russia should be divided into like 200 pieces. That's just conspiracy theory that the goal of Project Ukraine was to break up Russia. Just conspiracy theory. That's just fake news. Kaja Kallas said it a couple of weeks ago, and Duda said it yesterday. He said that Russia is a colonial power, and it has 200 ethnicities, and it needs to be broken up into 200 countries. That's pretty much what Duda said. Well, let me read you what Duda said. This is coming from the Twitter account of Megatron. Polish President Duda proposes to divide Russia into 200 ethnic groups. I represent the part of the world where Russia is often called a prison of nations. There are good reasons for this. On its territory, there are 200 ethnic groups that ended up on Russian territory as a result of the methods that Russia is taking against Crimea today. Russia remains the largest colonial power in the world. And differently than European states, Russia never went through the process of decolonization. Russia has never been able to cope with the demons of the past. We must ultimately say that there is no place for colonialism in the modern world. I want to make it clear that only Moscow is responsible for this war. That's right, Duda. That is what Duda wants everyone to know, that Russia has never gone through the process of decolonization. You know why Duda is so upset? I'll tell you why Duda is so upset. Here's my psychoanalysis of Duda. I'm going to put my psychology hat on. Duda's upset because because he's trapped in the European Union and he knows it. He knows it. That's why Duda's upset. He understands, deep down inside, he understands that it is Poland that is now under the control of Brussels. He knows it, and he's projecting it onto Russia. That's why Duda's so upset. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but if I'm wrong, well, understandable. I'm not a psychologist, but that's just my guess. More projection. Everything they do is projection. Everything they say is projection or acting. They're either projecting or they're just a bunch of actors and they're just reading their script, or maybe both. So that was Duda. And to be fair, there were some voices of reason at the event saying some reasonable things. For example, the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia said that the conflict in Ukraine must be resolved, even if it requires some concessions from one side. I think we know which side he's talking about. And he also said that any serious negotiations needs Russia. It needs Russia to participate. To be fair to Olaf Scholz, even though Olaf Scholz said a lot of dumb things, to be fair, Olaf Scholz did mention that there's going to be a second meeting. I've talked about this in other videos that I've done, that there's going to be a second peace conference meeting in September, and Russia should be invited to this second peace conference meeting. And Olaf Scholz did mention that. I think actually even the president of Finland, Stubb, I think he even said in his statement that there's going to be a second peace meeting, and well, Russia's going to most likely be invited to attend this second peace summit meeting, scheduled for September. Milei, who is best buddies with Zelensky, he said that, where's his statement? He said this, quote, "I can hate my neighbor, but if he doesn't buy my goods, I will go bankrupt." Argentine President Javier Milei. It sounds like Milei is trying to send a message to Zelensky. Maybe talk some reason to Zelensky. I think that's just about everything important or interesting or crazy that was said at this peace conference, a peace summit. And then we go to the group photo. Oh boy, and this is my clown world. One of my clown worlds. So they all get together to take a group picture, and as they're taking this group photo in Switzerland, someone yells, Slava Zelensky, Slava Ukraine, right? Someone yells it as they're about to take the photo. And guess who it was? Trudeau. It was Trudeau. Yep. They're all about to take the group photo, and like a 5-year-old kid, Trudeau decides to say Slava Ukraine. Like a 5-year-old. Some people laughed. Other people were like, what is Trudeau, 10 years old? And Trudeau was practicing that. He was thinking about that. He was planning that all day. He was planning it all day. Olaf, I've got an idea. When we do the big group photo, I've got an idea. I'm going to scream, Slava Ukraine, Olaf. And everyone's gonna look at me, and everyone's gonna pay attention to me, and everyone's gonna laugh. And I'm gonna be the cool guy at this event. Slava Ukraine! That was Trudeau. So Duda almost came out of the Swiss event as the top the top clown, but Trudeau with that photo, that group photo moment, He beat out Duda. No doubt about it. So that's Switzerland, everybody. That is Switzerland. The Washington Post, the New York Post, the Washington Post, the New York Post. They covered the event in Switzerland, or is it Sweden? I don't know. Is it Sweden or is it Switzerland? Here's the New York Post. Over 100 world leaders gather in Sweden to talk peace in Ukraine. Sweden, Switzerland. All the same, according to the New York Post, whatever. It's a useless event anyway. That's what the New York Post said. Who cares? No one's paying attention to it anyway. And it's still up. This post still has not been changed. It's been like 24 hours, and no one in all of the New York Post has decided to change this this title. It still says Sweden. I've got my screenshots. Yep, 100 world leaders gather in Sweden to talk peace. Oh, boy. Podolyak, is the event in Sweden or Switzerland? You better tell Pilot where it is. It doesn't matter as long as it's not Kiev. And then when Sunak was talking, the lower third, under Sunak, as he's giving his statement, the lower third says, President of the United Kingdom. President of the United Kingdom, Sunak. Oh, boy. What a debacle. What a freaking debacle. All right, so the New York Times, not the New York Post, the New York Times, they published the Istanbul Agreement. 3 documents, the full entire agreement from Istanbul from March 2022. They published the whole thing on the very same day as the Swiss Peace Summit. Or is it the Sweden Peace Summit? I don't know. Sweden Peace Summit, Swiss Peace Summit. It's all the same. Yeah, they published the entire agreement. That's the New York Times. The full document. We're talking all of the agreement, along with other documents and amendments and even the notes that both sides were putting on the document. The thoughts, the notes, the feedback. They published all of it. Allegedly, this is the real deal. I haven't heard the Kremlin come out with a statement saying that this isn't the document. So it's the document. It must be. So why did they publish it? How did they get it? How did they get all of these documents, and why did they publish it on the very same day as the peace summit? What do you guys think? I'm trying to figure it out. Why? I'm a bit confused why the New York Times would publish this. Because the document makes Russia look really good. I mean, it's a very reasonable agreement that Ukraine should have jumped at. And we've talked about what was in this agreement in many videos, so I'm not going to get into the details of it. But anyone that reads this New York Times article understands that in March of 2022, Ukraine was offered an amazing ceasefire agreement. The agreement even said that Ukraine can enter the European Union, no problem. Go ahead. Just stay neutral. Just stay neutral. That was pretty much the gist of the entire agreement. No NATO, neutrality, no nukes, no long-range missiles. Go ahead, enter the European Union. We'll even talk about Crimea. We'll negotiate Crimea after, because Crimea was a sticking point. We'll negotiate Crimea after we get the ceasefire signed. I mean, this was like a dream agreement for Ukraine. So why is the New York Times publishing this? Because it makes Russia look good right on the very day that you have the Swiss peace summit. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe you guys know in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. I wonder if the documents, here's the theory, just a theory, but I wonder if the documents were purposefully leaked to the New York Times by Russia or by some people in the US government who want Project Ukraine to wind down, who want a ceasefire, maybe even by neocons. Check out this theory. Maybe even by neocons who want the Biden White House to move on from Project Ukraine and to start dealing with China. You know, get on with, just be done with Ukraine and let's get on with China and Taiwan. So maybe these documents were given to the New York Times, maybe by one of these actors, I don't know, Russia, maybe some good guys in the US government, maybe some neocons, I don't know, pro-war with China neocons, and they gave these documents to the New York Times knowing that the New York Times is going to have to publish these documents. It's just too good. It's impossible not to publish documents in their entirety. And if they didn't publish them, they could be given to another outlet that would publish them. So the New York Times would lose the scoop. I don't know, just a theory. Just a theory, because putting these documents out there, it just makes Russia's case. And it further strengthens Putin's current ceasefire proposal, because it's basically telling the world, I gave a very generous offer in March of 2022. Here's another offer. Here's another generous offer. Take it. And they're not going to take it. They've already rejected it. And they rejected the March 2022, even though they signed it and initialed it. They tore that one up. I don't know. Anyway, that was a big story yesterday from the NYT. And what's next on the agenda? What is next? I wonder if the script writers for the Swiss Peace Summit were the same people that wrote the episodes of Star Wars: The Acolyte. Colonial powers and Slava Ukraine. The power of one, the power of many. Oh boy. Cool little theater, huh? So how about the Houthis? From what I understand, they hit 2 ships yesterday. 2. I think the one ship was a UK tanker, if I'm not mistaken, the Tudor in the Red Sea, and they hit that ship, and the crew had to abandon the ship, and now they're trying to salvage the ship. It's just kind of drifting in the Red Sea, and they're trying to salvage it. And then they hit a Ukraine ship in the Red Sea. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. One second. I think Zlati71 has a post on this. The Yemeni Houthis said that the Ukrainian ship, the Verbena, which they attacked, sank in the Gulf of Aden. ISZ reports. So they sank a Ukrainian ship, maybe a Ukrainian flagged ship. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but two ships they hit in the Red Sea. And the collective West has no answer for this. They have no answer. The Houthis basically control access through the Red Sea. And from what I understand, they hit the Tudor, this tanker. They hit it with a drone or something like that. Like a drone hit the ship, and that was it. So can you imagine how much damage the Houthis would do if I don't know, let's just say if they started to get weapons from Russia? Can you imagine how much damage they would do? They already control the Red Sea, and there's nothing the collective West can do about it. Can you imagine what they would do if Russia started to support them, secretly support them? Very bad idea for the Biden White House and the collective West to even talk about long-range missile strikes into pre-2014 Russian territory. A very, very bad idea. The Houthis is just one example of how Russia could effectively retaliate. Interesting, huh? This is the real deal. And they're just sitting out here, right? Just lying out here. Amazing. Okay, let's wrap up the video, I think. I think we can begin to wrap things up. With a very quick clown world, even though this whole video felt like a clown world because we were dealing with the Swiss Peace Summit, or the Sweden Peace Summit, if you read the New York Post, Podolyak. Amazing. So a very quick clown world. Kaya Kallas is in trouble. Looks like the Zelensky curse. It might get her again for the second time. She's already been hit with the Zelensky curse once, but she came back from it and became Prime Minister of Estonia again. And it looks like the Zelensky curse might be hitting Kaya Kallas once more. Estonia's Kallas in turmoil after resignations over military budget. Yep. Kaya Kallas, from what I understand, has got a scandal with the military budget. Something like 1.6 billion needs to go to the military, and they don't have the money, or something like that. Something is going on there, and no one knows where the money went or what's going on. And obviously, she continues to fund Project Ukraine, and this may lead to her downfall. We will see. We will see. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. I think I will end the video there. Very relaxed Sunday video. The Byzantine Museum. Beautiful area, huh? Look at how nice it is. It's like a little oasis in a chaotic city, in the chaos of Athens. You have this little oasis here. All right, that's the video, the Duran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop Football 24. Pick up some football merch. I made a mistake on my video from 2 days ago where I said the Euro starts next week. The Euro has already started. What is up here? Let's go. Let's see what's up here. There's the military museum right there. Take care, everyone.